Now we're going to get more specific on parallel and perpendicular lines. So here are your 3, 4, 3, 5 notes. Okay, so equations of parallel lines. Parallel lines, and I mentioned this earlier in an earlier recording, they have the same slope. Equations of perpendicular lines. So perpendicular lines have opposite and reciprocal slopes. Okay. So number one says h of k is perpendicular to b of, or sorry, h of x is perpendicular to b of x. So this line is perpendicular to that line. What is the equation of b of x in standard form? So remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c. So the problem here is that I know one point here, but I don't know the other point to find the slope. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find the slope of h of x and then find the opposite reciprocal of it to find its perpendicular slope, because it told us that they're perpendicular. So h of x has 8, 18, and 16, 6. So y minus y, so 6 minus 18 over 16 minus 8. 6 minus 18 is negative 12. 16 minus 8 is 8. That reduces to negative 3 over 2 because 4 goes into both. Okay? So that's h of x. That's its slope. So b of x's slope, would it be the opposite of that, so positive and reciprocal, so 2/3. Now I need standard form. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this into point slope form and then take point slope form and move it to standard form. So point slope form, I am going to go ahead and use this point right here. You can use, oh, that's the only point I can use because there is no other point on there. So that is y minus my y of 7 equals my slope of 2/3, parentheses x minus my x of 12. So then I start distributing, and I'm going to start moving it so my x's and my y's are on the left-hand side. So I distribute. I get y minus 7 equals 2/3 x minus 2 times 12 is 24. 24 divided by 3 is 8. I'm going to add 7 to both sides, so I get y by itself. Y equals 2/3 x minus 1. So that currently is slope-intercept form. What I'm going to do now is I am going to move this 2/3 over, so I'm going to subtract it. So I'm going to take, so it's going to be negative 2/3 x plus y equals negative 1. But if you remember, that first guy can never be negative, nor can it be a fraction. Okay, sorry about that. So we can never have a negative or a fraction. So we are going to multiply this by a negative 3 to get rid of that fraction, to get rid of that negative. So a negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I get 2x plus negative 3y. So I should have just done minus 3y, right? Equals, and it's okay for my b value or the number in front of y to be negative. That's fine. It just can't be your a value. And the negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive 3. So there it is in standard form. Okay? Sketch and write the equation for each line described below. So we have a line. M is parallel to AB and passes through negative 2, 1. If it is parallel, it never touches, so it will go straight up and down just like that one did. So we're going to name that M. And write an equation. So this is an a x equals line, so it's just x equals negative 2. Okay. Perpendicular line to AB that passes through negative 2, 1. So it's here again, but it's perpendicular, so it's going to go this way. Guys, this line right here is an x equals line 2. It's x equals 4 because it goes through x on 4, and it will always be at 4. This one is a y equals line. So that's y equals, and what y equals is 1. So y is always the value of 1 on that line. All right, next page. I'm going to do a couple problems in each section, and then your work today is actually to finish these problems in these sections, okay? So number 1, write an equation with the write an equation of the line with the given slope and y-intercept of b. So this is just y equals 2x plus 3. So let's just put it in the correct spot. Write an equation for the line shown. So first off, your y-intercept is here at 0, so we know it's plus 0. And it's y equals something x, your slope x, so I'm going to find my slope. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, so that's 4 over 4. Or I could have counted it up 1 over 1, so that's a slope of 1 over 1, which is 1. Slope of 4 over 4 is just equal to 1, so I could have it 1x plus 0. Another way to write that, guys, is just y equals x. Okay, so you're going to do 5, 6, and 7. So you're doing 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Write an equation of a line that passes through point P and parallel to the given line. Okay, so if it's parallel to this given line, then it has the same slope. So the slope would be negative 1/2. So this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in point slope because we have a point and we have a slope. So I'm going to do y minus y equals my slope, parallel, so same exact slope, x minus x. We're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form because that's typically what we see. So y equals, because that negative 0 doesn't do anything, negative 1/2 x minus half of 2 is 1. So you're going to do 9 and 10. As a reminder, remember I asked you to add that one paper in, so hopefully you still have that one paper. If not, you're going to have to pause this video and get the problems from this video and do it on a separate sheet of paper. Write an equation of a line that passes through point P and is perpendicular. So perpendicular means opposite reciprocal slope. So the perpendicular slope would be negative 2. Once I do that, then once I have that, then I just kind of use the same form or same work that I did on the previous page. So point slope form would be y minus 20 equals my slope of negative 2 parentheses x minus 5. Distribute, distribute, so I get y minus 20 equals negative 2x plus 10. Add 20, so I get y equals negative 2x plus 30. So you're going to do 12 and 13. Graph this equation, so I'm going to put it into slope-intercept form, so I'm going to add 2x to both sides, so I get y equals 2x minus 1. So my slope is at negative 1, my y-intercept is at negative 1, my slope is at 2 over 1. And I should be taking a straight edge to connect those. Always make your lines go through the entire graph because it's really important when we are doing linear inequalities to do that because you have the shading. So go ahead and finish the problems we did not do on this. If you have extra time, then you can work on your project or supplemental sheets. All right, thanks guys.